Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions regarding this watch. We're discussing a late 2021 launch for the 2022 model year made in 10 pieces in grade 5 titanium. This is the Ressence Type 1 MP2. It's part of the Type 1 Slim collection, and it is a tribute to 10 years of the online luxury sales portal Mr. Porter, hence the MP2 designation. So you can see the watch in lenticular form, 42 millimeters in diameter in grade 5 tie, 11 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 47 millimeters, and then a 20 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. The watch on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters circumference, wears comfortably. It wears a lot like a wire lug Rodimir, only maybe a little bit smaller. It'll easily fit under a cuff. Remember, the Type 1 Slim trades the older ETA 2824 base for the 2892, which is a millimeter thinner. Over the top, it easily fits within the bound of my wrist. My 16 centimeter wrist, proving that this could probably fit on a smaller wrist. I'm going to say this will wear well on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. The strap is a lovely piece. It is a conventional 20 millimeter strap, so don't mistake this for some sort of molded on or sewn on strap. There are conventional spring bars in there if you just want to swap out to something more normal, but it is a lovely strap. You can see some evacuations on the underside to make it more pliant, and then elongated perforations, and quite a few of them. You can note that there's more adjustability within the range than on a conventional perforated strap, which, for example, looks like this. So Ressence, being a company that's premised on ergonomics, approachability, friendliness, giving you a strap with more degrees of adjustability. We've got a buckle, which, like the case, is grade 5 titanium, and you can see that there's a little notch for the pin in the buckle, and that the Ressence symbol, the hand, is on the pinhead. Little elements of design like that set Ressence apart, because the company was founded by Benoit Mintiens, who is a Belgian industrial designer. He had very different ideas about how a watch should be made. It should be friendly, approachable. Ergonomics should be superb. Why do we need a crown? What does a crown accomplish? Nothing. And in this case, you see that there is a lever on the reverse side for all setting and winding. What's fascinating here is how little case there actually is. When viewed from the front, there is almost no bezel. When viewed in profile, you can see a substantial amount of the thickness is actually the sapphire. This is grade 5 titanium, which means it's lighter than steel. It is hypoallergenic like grade 2 titanium, but is also more scratch resistant than either grade 2 or standard watchmaking steels. And in my experience, short of hard metal or ceramic or composite of some kind, polished grade 5 tie does the best job of hiding and resisting scratches of any kind of metal. Taking a look at the dial, it is a regulator, so you have your hours, your minutes, and then your running seconds display. That's what a regulator is, separating out all the indications. You also have a day of the week indicator, which moves in a clockwise direction. We have the two hollow arcs that are unshaded, so those are your weekend days. And you can see that we are in the last shaded arc, so it means it's a Friday. And you can tell whether it's AM or PM. So 8 in the morning, because you can see that little indicator has not yet reached the midpoint of that arc, which would indicate 12 noon. So this is 8 in the morning on a Friday. Let's do a lume shot. A lot of people are surprised by just how luminescent Ressence watches are, and they are. They are profoundly luminescent. In fact, what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to jump back. I'm going to deploy the case back lever, which, by the way, debuted on 2017's Type 1 Squared. So if you're wondering why every Ressence watch doesn't have that, that's why. Now you can see that it works in a planetary fashion, with each dial rotating relative to the center, but also relative to its own axis. So that is an extraordinary amount of luminescence, giving you a lot of information. The dial is a lovely matte green with brushed metallic elements that are anthracite colored. And then we turn it all over, and you can see that this series is numbered. This is number 3 of the 10-piece edition, Type 1 Slim MP2 Mr. Porter. Of course, the watch is automatic winding, but though you can wind it by finding the friction zones and backing to and fro through those. Primarily, the case back will be used for setting. And the movement inside, I kind of tipped my hand earlier. It's an ETA 2892A2 base, bidirectional automatic winding with the ROCS module, which includes well over 100 parts. It is a movement atop a movement and manufacturer watchmaking. That part, like the rest of the watch, is made in Switzerland, so Belgian design, Swiss built, 36-hour power reserve, 4 hertz beat rate, and then the ROCS module on the top, which is incredibly sophisticated. So if you're wondering why an ETA base is used, it's because it's reliable and it's precise and it's tough. And then on top, like Erwerk, which uses Zenith bases and then builds its own module, Ressence has its spectacular ROCS system. Quick note on water resistance. These are splash only, being 1 ATM or 10 meters. So if you want to go swimming with your Ressence, get a Type 5 dive watch. Otherwise, here's the MP2. Big, green, perfectly fit, titanium, light on the wrist, and unlike anything else in your collection, unless you collect Ressence. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.